Okay guys, so the first thing you're going to do is come up here to the top and start a new presentation file. Once this is started, you'll notice that the browser on the left hand side appears to have nothing in it. If you create a view, you must then browse for it by opening an existing file, navigate using these buttons at the top to where you've stored or saved your Puzzle Cube assembly file. Open that assembly file and make sure that the explosion method of manual is chosen. Click OK, and now your assembly has been brought into the presentation file. To explode this apart, you have to tweak components. Notice that as you do this in your browser, your assembly and its parts will start to have more come in underneath it. We'll start by following the directions in the PowerPoint and using the direction tweak, and under transformations, we'll make sure the radio button for linear translation has been selected. Notice when I put my mouse over the top of any of the parts, whether it's the faces or the edges, it gives me a new coordinate system. This is different than what we see in the UCS. So my orientation changes depending on where I'm selecting on the different parts. In this case, I'll start by selecting this part. Choose this face, and it defaults as the Z-axis. Notice up here, Z has been selected. I want to tell it how far to move. So I'll highlight this and type in 5. However, if I've before, then I'll have some selections that are in the flyout menu. For now, we'll stick with everything moving by 5. Once I have it in the direction I want it to be moving so that the part won't move through any other material as it translates, then I'll hit the accept button. I'll clear and repeat this process for the rest of my parts, moving them in the orientation I'd like for them to go. I can navigate around using the view cube, or I can use my free orbit button, F4, holding that down and clicking and dragging. I want to make sure that as I move these parts, they don't run into each other, and as they move, they don't move through other materials. Problem with this part is that as I move it back, it would move right through this piece. If I animate it, I'll see that happening. Let's see that again. Notice how, as it moves, it crosses through another part. We don't want that to happen. It would be moving at the wrong time. This is okay, as I can always go back and change things. I can continue to tweak my components. This time, I'll move in the X direction, still positive. And finally, this component, I'll move in the X direction now, and still positive. I'll close this, and I'll notice that when I animate it, it moves through all of these parts. If I use the double caret, I'll see what order it moves in. As I play it, it cycles through the parts. Problem being, this part intersects. So if this happens, I can change when that moves. Perhaps I want to move it down or up. But as we see right here, a part moves through it. If you get to a point where you've made a mistake that you can't correct by moving the parts up or down, delete them. Try again. Here I've run into the same issue. First two parts work well, but the third part as it moves through, it crosses a bunch of these. So this guy might be better moved in a different direction. Might also mean that I want to move this to a place that doesn't intersect by using the double caret arrow and moving it up or down at a different time interval. In the end, you'll want to save it and call it your puzzle cube assembly. I've already saved this one, so I don't need to save it. I can also navigate to where those files are saved and open them up. Here you'll find that I've created a simple explosion, and I've also created a complex explosion, one that goes through a few more tweaks before it puts it all back together. I encourage you to do both. And then I also encourage you to save the file with a different name. To get this so that it is recording it and saving it as a recorded file that you can then later upload to YouTube, create a QR code that links it for us. Before you play, simply tell it to record. Save it where you want it to be with the rest of your Puzzle Cube files. Save it as a WMV, tends to work better. Once it's saved, you come into this part, leave it as it is, but make sure that it shows that you're running broadband and 640 by 480. Leave the custom profile as it is. You have no other selections. Say OK and play it. You'll notice mine moves a little bit quicker than yours if you haven't reset it to having 10 as its rate. The lower the interval, faster it goes. The higher the interval, the slower it goes. This one was set at 5. Having it set too low, and it goes too fast. Having it set too high, and it goes way too slow. We won't bore you with this. So that's how you create it, that's how you save it, and that's how you go through making it a WMV.